Howdy everybody. Almost forgot to do this. I'm in the middle of unpacking my new flail mower. I got it from somewhere up in Oregon. Just got it in on the truck last night. My dad helped me unload it. Well, frankly, my dad pretty much unloaded it by the time I got home with my kids. And so I didn't have time to get unpacked last night. So I'm in the middle of getting it taken apart now. All right, so you can see here, you got your, I forget how to pronounce the name of this motor, but it's I think it's 18 horse single cylinder engine. I wasn't real proud of how they packed this. It knocked some of the paint off of it here. That's the name there. You'll be able to see, I don't know where my hand went, but there it is. BETSTCO. And they call it a Powercraft. That's the number. So this is, I think, the 59-inch version. And yeah, you're supposed to be real careful when you're running these things. Of course, right? It's a mower. Who wouldn't be careful when you're running one? So I pretty much got it off. I'm gonna have to assemble it. You know, you got this tongue stuff. I had to use my Sawzall to get this metal crate cut apart. Of course, being me, I'm trying to figure out what exactly I'm going to use that angle iron for, but looks like it's going to be a pretty good deal. You got a lot of this kind of scrub you can see along the fence. And I apologize for how this is probably making it real hard to see, but you got a lot of this kind of mesquite, and there's a lot of, what do they call it, desert broom out here. That stuff's pretty hard. A standard whirligig mower, or you'll hear them a brush hog, or a bush hog, or a rotary mower, or whatever you want to call it. Those throw rocks pretty bad, and as many rocks as we got out here, you want to be real careful. So I got this flail mower. It's not supposed to throw rocks nearly as bad. All right, well, it's been probably about an hour. This thing didn't go together quite the way that the picture shows, and of course, well, I knew when I bought this that I was paying for a somewhat lesser deal. Yeah, ignore that stuff back there. I always got some kind of project going on. So you can see here, I don't know if I can get that. This is how it shows it. It shows a wheels forward version, which would actually be kind of ideal. If you're not aware of quite how a flail mower works, I'll see if I can get under here and show you how this is. All right, so if you can see under there, here, I'll see if I can get a little bit closer. Got this rotor here, and these are flails here. Call these Y blades. These are general use blades. All it is a piece of metal bent a little bit, and well, it flails. It flails the grass off. It's very apropos, you might say. So anyway, the way this tire is made, or the way that this thing looks like it ought to go together, this tire would be ideally placed because it'd be directly outside of that flail on the same axis, if you will. Well, but it won't fit. It hits right there on this belt housing, which I could probably take apart a little bit, and I could probably make it fit that way. But I don't have time for that right now, so maybe later, or I may just put a spacer in here. There's a couple of places where I can work on it. It's kind of a interesting contraption the way they got this. It's all on the system to make it raise and lower. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this wheel, and see it's hooked on this assembly down here. This is the tube on a bearing, of course. I'm going to flip that around, so it's going to be behind this, but I'm not even going to do that just straight up. I'm going to move it behind and inside. So I'm actually going to narrow this up a little bit, which I think will have some beneficial properties. I got pretty flat land here, so I don't think I'm going to have too much problem on that. It's not going to be as ideal. There's going to be a little more stress on a couple of things, but it'll get me mowing in the short term. I did start it up a minute ago, and I got the battery hooked up, so I'll do that. Show you it's not a Briggs. I was kind of saddened by that, but well, not that it's not a Briggs, but it doesn't a little rougher than a Briggs. Well, I'm gonna let it slow down here. Let me show you something else that. So I saw just a little bit of smoke. A little smoke. It wasn't coming out of the carburetor or the muffler, because the muffler's up here on the front end. Instead, it's a centrifugal clutch in there, so it kind of engaged a little gradual, which is good in some ways. But I noticed a little bit of burning belt here, so we'll see how that goes. In the long run, it may cause a couple issues. I don't know. But anyway, I'm going to get it put together the other way, and then I'll hook it up. Alright, well, it's been a little longer than I thought it was going to be, between one video and the next. I got real busy yesterday. I didn't actually make any parts of this, so I did get my mower put together with the wheels behind kind of sort of configuration. And in the process of doing that, I thought, well, I ought to probably take some of the parts that I'd gotten in from yesterday's tractor, which is the place you can get parts for these old tractors, like one of the ones that I got, and put them on. I had a 2-blade fan that had been a 4-blade fan at one point or another, and it had been chopped off to where it was just 2 blades and it wasn't pulling enough air through the radiator. So I got another fan in. Of course, it didn't fit quite right, so I had to make adjustments to that, or it would have interfered with the radiator. It's always a fancy word. It would have ripped a big hole in the middle of the radiator. So I had to adjust it back. Took the front edge of all the blades off equally so the balance wouldn't get changed. And got that put on. Then got some bracket bolts and stuff to put the front of the tractor back together. And by the time I got out here, my welder guy was here. He welded my backhoe had a couple of cracks in the front boom. So he welded that together for me, and he welded an attachment. I had a quick hitch and a couple of receiver tubes, and I had an idea for that, and I'll show you that later on. All right, well, I'm out here mowing, and mower works fine. Fell prey to the classic blunder of not checking the gas in the tractor. Everything else is gassed up, so luckily I'm not too far from home, and I bought gas yesterday in a couple of cans. Speaking of which, I need a gasoline fuel cell, but this thing's doing a pretty good job actually. It's kind of wondered if I was going to get along with these Y blades or not. But it's really cutting it down. I'll stop here. This is mesquite bush. You can see here there's still some left. Right here you can, but I think I'll be able to get the hay off head there. I think I'll be able to probably adjust it a little bit better after I got a solution for my wheel problem too. Just gotta go in and get some plate steel. But it mows a lot better than that whirligig that I borrowed. And of course it also mows a lot better when your tractor doesn't run out of gas. And right now my tractor doesn't have a hood on it, so looks like an old Model T that broke down with really big tires in the back over there. So, all right, well, got back out here with my fuel in it. I'll show you what it looks like after I'm done. On the gas can. I hate these new ventless gas cans. It takes forever. So I'm gonna get back to mowing. I'll show you here right at the end how it looked. You can see this right here is mulching it up pretty good. This is actually it's deeper than it looked right here in this ditch. So I'm gonna jump back to it and finish it up. All right, so I'm gonna do a little walk around here on this this mower. Finally got it done. In fact, I finished that video up and I realized I didn't have any pictures of it after it was done. So I'm going to do a little video series or a little walk around here. I ain't going to do much walk around because the it's backed up against a tree. So you can see where I put those wheels, put them on there backwards, sticking off the back. Now that has got some advantages and some disadvantages. Now, back up here and see if I can get a wider shot of it. And now another thing I'm going to do here, where this this tongue is, about here, I'm going to put a jack leg, not an actual jack, but just something that falls down, you know, through a collar. Has a pin on it, so I don't have to have this, so it rides along all the time behind. Now there's an advantage. I was saying there's an advantage to this, which a bunch of people are going to say, well, there's no advantage to having the wheels out, having it longer and all that. So right here, this, where you see that greaser, maybe, that's a bar that actually kind of sets your height, right? And you want to have this kind of level up here, this deal. And these are meant to, you know, kind of cushion things. So I'm probably putting a little more wear on that. But even after I turn these around to where they're sticking out here, I'm going to get a piece of plate put in right here, like I was talking on that other video. I'm going to get a piece of, I don't know, 3/8 or half inch plate, something pretty thick, because it's going to take a lot of beating. And I'm going to move these wheels up there where they're supposed to be. But I'm going to put wheels back here like this anyway, and I'll tell you why. Those come in real handy when you've got a tractor set up like mine. So my Ferguson, which we'll walk over and see, has a 3-point quick hitch on it, which is kind of I didn't ever really do much of a series on how it went together, because I just put just kind of welded it up, I had a guy weld it up. He welds a lot prettier than me. And I just started using it. But with that mower, it comes in real handy, because where I hooked that mower on is already off center on the mower, as you probably saw. And then here on the tractor, it's also off center. So, all right, I was pulling a pickup here earlier, my brother's pickup. So, but you can see on this quick hitch, right here, I've got a receiver hitch. Over here, I got a receiver hitch. Now, if I take those out, it doesn't interfere with anything. Matter of fact, what I'm going to do next is drill another hole in the other side here, so I can store my receiver, like the actual hitch, on the back side here. Because I got enough room here. I'll probably have to cut this back a little bit, but that won't be a problem. So what it does for me is I pull off of this one because it's the right drop, and that this being hooked to the 3-point, you can lift it up and down. And when you lift the front of that, that means when you're going across a real rocky patch or something, you can lift the front of that mower up and keep from running your blades against rocks. And it also allows you to transport a little quicker. One thing I will recommend if you're doing this kind of thing, keep an eye on your oil level in your motor, because you are tipping it to some degree, you know, more than it would be if it was running flat. And I don't run around like that with the thing up in the air, but if I'm going across something where I see something I don't want to hit with a mower, I just reach back and grab the 3-point, hoist it up real quick, it rolls over whatever it is, and drop back down and start mowing again. And that's done really well. Now, what I'll say that 3-point hitch isn't for everything. It works great for moving that trailer. It's my garbage trailer here. Well, right now it's a garbage trailer. I got those sides built on it. And works great for moving that. Doesn't pull this. Here's something we see all the time, but you might not see wherever you're at very often. It's dust devil. It's kind of like a mini tornado. I don't know if you can see that or not. It's just really localized atmospheric disturbance, I suppose, really. And now, what I think, I'm going to do a little talk here on that, I guess. I don't think those are restricted to here. I think they happen all over the place. It's just that in a dusty climate like this, you can see the evidence of it. I bet they happen back home in Missouri all the time, but you can't see it. You know, it isn't picking anything up.